Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we'll take you along on our 36-hour travel day to Sri Lanka. We're currently on our first leg of the journey, going from Lincoln to London before we fly out later today. So after arriving at King's Cross Station, we worked our way through the football fans there for the cup final day and met some uni friends for a final Sunday lunch before we would head off to the airport.
So, after our lunch, we then headed to St Pancras Station, where we got the train straight to Gatwick. So it's the line that goes all the way to Brighton. Cost us around £10 each and took 45 minutes. It's really good because it gets you right into the centre of the airport. Last time you saw us, we were getting the train from Lincoln down to London to start our journey. We're now at Gatwick Airport waiting to board the first of 4 flights on our way to Sri Lanka. So you may have realised that we're taking the scenic route, the reason being cost. So it cost roughly £600 to fly direct, taking 12 hours, or £200 to take 4 flights, equating to around 36 hours of travel.
Yeah.
So depends what you value most, really, sort of cost or comfort, but this is the route that we've decided to take, especially as we're not having to use any annual leave. We feel like it will be more cost beneficial. First flight is to Budapest, so only takes about 2 hours, and we'll board that shortly.
Okay, so through security, pretty painless actually. We're just sat in the food court type area now, waiting to get our gate. It's finally setting in where we're going and what we're doing. After spending so long sort of back at home, saving up for this trip, preparing for it, after sort of coming home during the pandemic from Australia, this has kind of been what we've been working towards ever since. And for it to finally be coming up right now, I'm kind of feeling a bit of nervous excitement. We're ready to go, but it's just that sort of like stepping out of your comfort zone. Doesn't quite feel comfortable just yet, but we're looking forward to getting there. Be a good one.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Wait.
Everybody calm down!
We are in Budapest Airport currently, and it is 2 AM, I believe. So we're here until our next flight, which is at 7:50. So we've got another almost 6 hours here. We've currently got a little spot in the stairwell because everybody was sleeping on the floor upstairs and there was no spots away from people. So this is us at the moment. So showing all the glamorous highlights of travel. As you can see, Morgan's trying to get some sleep in his eye mask. Not living our best lives just yet, but not far off either.
So after a couple of hours sleeping on the stairwell floor, we got some breakfast in the airport when everything started to open and boarded our next flight from Budapest to Saudi Arabia, where we got a lot more than we bargained for while transferring to our next flight.
Foreign police, innit?
So? Don't you even know about foreign police?
Mate, they're all corrupt.
So after the debacle in the Saudi airport, we managed to rush through security and customs just in time to board our flight to Dubai, albeit with our pockets a little lighter. Things were much smoother in Dubai, and we sat down for some food while waiting for our final 4.5-hour flight to Sri Lanka. Upon landing, we got some cash out and a local SIM before getting a taxi to our hotel with some guys we met on the plane. So you may have realised it's been quite a while since I last spoke to you on the plane from Budapest to Saudi Arabia. This is because we had a bit of a run-in when we got there. They basically wouldn't let us transfer through the airport, sort of, using the normal international transfers route, which we thought that would be fine, being that we're only at the airport for sort of less than 12 hours. They seemed to think that we needed a transfer visa because we flew there with Wizz Air, but definitely spiced up the travel day, and we ended up having to pay around 120 euros for a Saudi visa, which it was an unexpected cost, seeing as obviously we're trying to save money by taking this trip.
And there was a lot of people in the same boat as us, which made us feel a little bit better about the situation. But they were just very rude. They said either pay or stay in the airport forever, basically.
Yeah, or get back on the plane.
Or go back to Budapest. So they were the only options. We flew with Wizz Air, and then we were flying out with Air Arabia, which they said is the reason why, because Wizz Air didn't pay for that transit visa. But it was just the fact that we had no heads up about it, and obviously we only had 2 hours in the airport, so we were sort of racing to try get through in time. Luckily we didn't have any bags. We were just carrying hand luggage, so that sped it up, but just wasn't the best experience really.
Yeah, and then it was probably our own fault in the end, in the sense that, you know, we were obviously expected to self-transfer and these things. So, but basically the end of the day, the message is sort of do your research and be 100% sure. And if you're not 100% sure, just apply for a transit visa, because that will solve your problems regardless if you need one or don't.
I mean, it still worked out a lot cheaper than paying for a 12-hour direct flight to Colombo.
Yeah, I mean,
we still saved like £300 each.
Yeah.
But it just sort of...
It's disheartening having an unexpected cost being that high. You know, we could probably stay in Sri Lanka for a week for £100.
And I'm one of those people who gets quite stressed in airports as well. So it wasn't the nicest experience.
Yeah.
Especially in a country where maybe English isn't the first language as well.
For sure.
It's just one of those things. But we're here now. We're safe. We landed in Colombo at...
About 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. And then we actually split a taxi with 2 guys that we met in the airport who also had the same situation in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
So we paid $10 between us and they paid $10 between them, and we split a taxi to get, it was about an hour drive from the airport.
Yeah, so it was pretty reasonable. We thought you could probably get it cheaper if you haggled it down, or maybe if there was only 2 of you.
Or if you walk out of the airport as well, so walk past all of the taxis, actually leave the airport. It looked as if there were sort of tuk-tuk drivers and buses waiting there to pick people up. So that's also an option, but at that time of the morning I think we just would rather have paid a bit more. It'd been a long travel day, and just sort of like the safety and comfort of getting a taxi.
Yeah, so we're staying in the Cinnamon Red in Colombo. I think it cost us about £35 a night, so I'll put the conversions up on the screen. But I think it's a 4 or 5 star hotel, really nice facilities.
So nice.
Rooftop pool, which I will show you a clip of now.
They let us check in at 8 AM as well without having to pay for an extra night.
Another
so
big
obviously
bonus,
when we got here at like 5:30 in the morning, a lot of hotels you have to wait until sort of 2 in the afternoon to check in, so that was really good, and I think it was definitely worth paying a bit extra after our long travel day. Just for like the comfort really. Yeah,
so we're here for a couple of nights to rest, recharge, get our stuff in order, and make a plan for the rest of the country before we will rejoin you, taking some first impressions in of Colombo. As always, make sure to like and subscribe, leave us a comment and we'll get back to you, and we'll see you in the next one.